love me so much to get nuts. I hate your face. I hate your face. I hate your face. Drake says, where the function? I said, where the one time? Girl, I got the one time. Welcome back to NBA Cinema, guys. So it looks like LeBron James has addressed the Michael Jordan comparison head on. And we're going to look at this interview that just dropped on ESPN at 7 o'clock this morning, where he talks about the GOAT debate. And, you know, he's always been compared to Michael Jordan. You think about the year Michael Jordan left the game for the final time with the Wizards, he was coming in, but Jordan had carried the NBA, you know, viewership and had helped expand the league's popularity all throughout the 90s. You know, maybe not as popular with the Wizards, but, you know, in those Chicago years, and Dream Team, all that stuff, those 2-3 peats, there was no one more recognizable in the game of basketball than Michael Jordan. And so we're going to look at this. What LeBron said. He said, I hope I made him proud at least wearing that number 23. That's what he told David Finley. He said, I never have compared myself to MJ because our games are totally different. I have been a point forward my whole life. I've always looked for the pass. MJ kind of looked for the shot. Not kind of, he did. He looked for the shot. There are a lot of things where I would say my game is a lot different, a little better than his, but he was effing great. We're both great. We're both great basketball players. So I would say he definitely has compared his career to Michael Jordan's career. But if he's talking about his game, I definitely always seen him as a different type of player as well. But, you know, he continues, he says, there are a lot of things that MJ did better than I do. And I think there are some things I do better than him. That's just how the game goes. There's a lot of things that I can say, in particular, you already know how this conversation is going to be misinterpreted by people, man. I think I am one-on-one. I think the way I play the game, I'm a one-on-one player, and MJ as well. A unbelievable basketball player. I think his mid-range jump shot was unbelievable. He did so many things great. I grew up analyzing everything that he did, how he could get his spot, get to his spot, and rise up above everybody. Obviously, his post game was elite. His will to win. I think that is a trait that we all know and that we all wanted to be like, his determination to win. He says the GOAT topic is a very tiring conversation in barbershop talk. Now look, that's where I start to take a little issue. We're going to continue because he said more, but I remember the shop after he won the title in Cleveland, he said that was made him the GOAT. You know, when you assert yourself in that and you say that you're the GOAT because you want a title while you're actively playing, that's what makes people think, you know, that it is one of those things where you're saying it's tiring of barbershop talk and you give it credence and it really bothers you. You have to yourself come out and say it. Let them have that conversation. Let the fans have that. But he says you can look at both of us and say that you love both of us without trying to ish on another person. And usually it's ishing on me. But I know for sure that I've done my part in this journey. I never thought that I could be him, but I dreamed of the opportunity to live in the shoes that he lived in. I dreamed of being able to be in a big game, to be a game winner as the clock went down. I dreamed of having my own sneaker. I dreamed of flying through the air like him. I dreamed of people screaming my name. Everything that he did, I needed inspiration to certain people, the music and the sports that were my upbringing. I needed that. Now,
left in the first quarter of the game.
This part right here, John talks about his 46 finals record compared to Michael Jordan, 6-0 in the NBA Finals. And that's one of the largest talking points of any debate involving the two. You know, you have LeBron, people that love what he's done over the totality of his career, you know, all-time NBA leading scorer. How he fills up the stat sheet. How he's done it for years. Michael Jordan, his people say, look, he won a lot in a short amount of time. What he did globally for the game, how clutch he was to go over 2 back-to-back MVPs. That's just strong enough of a resume. Even though you can play, you know, 2 or 3 times, well, not 3 times, but somebody can play. He won a lot in a short amount of time. And what he did globally for the game, how clutch he was in those moments, 2 back-to-back 3-peats. That's a strong enough of a resume. Even though you can play, you know, 2 or 3 times, well, not 3 times, but somebody can play twice as long and not accomplish what he accomplished in his career. We don't say it matter. That's kind of how people look at it. But look, we're going to listen to what LeBron said about his finals record. He said, when I was younger, I used to have a notion of like, people were getting on me for losing in the finals. And when I was younger, I used to listen to it. Like, people would really rather you not make the playoffs or lose in the first round than to lose in the finals, which is crazy. I almost feel like, is it because it's me? Everybody has to say something about my career. Oh, well, he made 8 straight finals, but he was only able to win 3. He's the leading scorer in NBA history, but he's played 23 years.
After the basket by Dallas. And the shot goes down.
Yeah, I have also been fastest to 1,000 points, fastest to 2,000 points, fastest to 5,000, fastest to 10,000. So I started realizing really it's a knock on me. I started to appreciate it a little bit more. Like, I am pissed off that I didn't have a better winning percentage individually in the finals, but for people try to turn that into a negative, it doesn't bother me like it did when I was young. And that's what Brian had to say about all of that. And see, when you say things like you'd rather be losing in the first round than make the NBA Finals, a lot of people that argue.
Excuse me?
Let me fuck your husband. Don't put up with bad service. At Midas, we'll let you know when it's fixing now and what you win. Move out to Midas, we're putting an end to yes.
And they've been producing at a high level. No question. They're in a nice
I'll bring your whole name up. Tuesdays at 8 on MTV.
5 to shoot.
Points for LeBron and say Jordan lost in the first round with Larry Bird and the Celtics. You know, so people are going to take that as a shot. He said it in his interview. People are going to misinterpret what he said, but they're looking at that like he's putting out a disclaimer before doing exactly what he says people are doing to him as far as using it against him. I mean, you do have to consider that we start talking about who you feel like is the best. We start nitpicking because you look at the greatest individual performances in a regular season, or you nitpick certain performances, you will say, you know, a lot of people are really top tier players. Separators typically in the postseason when the batters and you're trying to get, you know, over the hump. When you have a team that's capable, right? When you have a team that's capable, you'll look at it and be like, well, what did he do in these moments? Did he close the game? And the clutch shot isn't always the shot at the end of the game. Sometimes you can be clutch and extend the lead in the third quarter, put the game out of reach. There's a lot of clutch, in my opinion. I don't think it's just, because you can do a lot of things to have your team focus at the end of the game is negative, right? You can make a lot of turnovers and even put your team in a position to have to try to play because you didn't play smart, disciplined basketball, live ball, turnovers, things like that. So I just look at everything, not just the final shot, but sometimes you end up in those situations as a great player and you want to see how they respond. Michael Jordan, what he did when he stole the ball from Malone, after going in and getting that layup, stole the ball, came down, hit this shot on Byron Russell. People just are going to remember that forever because he just took over at the end of the game. Made plays when they had to be made. There was no more time. And he just turned it on to another level, showing his basketball IQ and his ability to sniff out plays when there ain't down the stretch. LeBron will always remember what he was able to do against Detroit, you know, in that series. That was one of his moments, the man in Boston, when he was with the Miami Heat. You know, they were in jeopardy in that series as well. So, you know, he says there's some things he does better than Mike, some things Mike does better than him. The GOAT conversation though, I'm going to say he participated in that. A lot of times you hear Michael Jordan talk about it. He talks about the people that came before him, and he says, you know, it's a generational type of argument. It's going to be hard to really pinpoint an overall GOAT, because when you do that, you do kind of step on the people who paved the way for you and has taken the game to another level where you're able to be who you are in the modern game. So that's why sometimes people turn off by the argument. And he said you can look at both of us without trying to talk down on us, basically. And he said it's usually him that's getting talked down on. Well, I think a lot of people come at Michael Jordan's career as well in favor of LeBron. I think that's the nature of arguments in 2026. People are online. So 99, I ain't gonna say 99, but a good portion of the people, a good percentage of the people are emotional in their argument. So it's going to be very disrespectful when they're trying to make a case for the person they like. It's always going to be emotional. Everybody has a podcast now. They just want to get their feelings off. They don't really understand the game of basketball. So you listen to those people, then, you know, and it bothers you internally, then you're going to be bothered by a lot of the things that you hear on the internet. I'm pretty sure it bothers Michael Jordan as well. We saw how, well, when it does break it on his desk, we saw he just not picking up the Charles Barkley. And he had issues with Barkley, who called him a bad owner. With the Charlotte Hornets, and Barkley was right at the time. So, you know, I know people are sensitive about their careers and things like that. It's no knock on LeBron, but I will say he has participated in these conversations that he's saying, like the barbershop talk. He's saying he ain't got to crap on one person or the other. And we've seen Rich Paul come up on these platforms and talk down, on Michael Jordan, saying that he was not listening, that his shoes sold. Michael Jordan was in this era. Michael Jordan actually had a super team. You can say these type of things, and it looks like, with it coming from your camp, it looks like you sent that. So we need to acknowledge that you're going to be looked at as somebody who has engaged in this conversation. And, people are looking, and this is what I'm going to say on the end of here. People are going to look at this interview and say, you're realizing you won't get the 6th title, you won't catch him in that department, and now you want to change the game. That's what people are going to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to next time.
These three products have completely changed my hair. Starting out strong with 2 hours shampoo and conditioner as well as their hair serum. My hair never looks better. Look how short it was just last year. I cannot get over how much healthier and stronger my hair is. I have to try both of these products together and it makes such a difference. Visit legooooo.com and type in the code TRAVEL to get a free travel kit and get started on your hair journey today. Oh my gosh, look how pretty this looks. It's perfect for the springtime. I just love this curl. Y'all know how I love a nice mixy curl. You know what I'm saying? You call it a mixy. You know what I'm saying? From beginning to end. They got color, they got dimension. It's perfect for the springtime. This is your first one.
Those are the ones you're happy to get every and that's a foul called on P.J. Washington. That's his first foul. And Los Angeles making a change here.
How would you describe the impact of this man? It's the radius of gravity. It's like no one else. I mean, between probably him and Steph, like, those two guys to be that type of gravity that they have. And it's amazing to play with both Steph again.
The Olympics in the first playoff series, the Spurs now are they proven they are capable of winning the title.
They can. And everything about winning, I don't know. You can watch him play, there's 2 people, Otani, and nobody else. We need to stop what you're doing and just appreciate the fact that you're really
And I'll tell you what, I mean,
it's going to be only our team effort. If you care about sports and competition and the public competition, if you want to watch those 2 guys, they're not your part. You want to say that they no, and they're talking about Castle. Wow. He and Hartman has played so beyond their real state. And De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes, they've had experience. Not much of it. Harrison Barnes has more than De'Aaron Fox. But you're getting Portland to complete a regular championship. No, we can do everything. No, we got to win. And that would be like that. Let's see, that would be 8 steps up for the they got steps to climb, and there's some despair.
I will say that you did see the Spurs and the Nuggets so
43 seconds left in the third quarter of the game.
Let me call one out to one up here. I'll put out for that. Right. Okay. I had it. Good ass. It's fun to watch. I'm the lead wild, so maybe they're cool, but we're talking more wild. It's not me. Yeah, I was forgetting one second grade. Cleveland outside. I played like tennis with some tennis fan that was walking me again.
I'm with, here's one thing about this series that I give San Antonio credit for. They were a little trouble in game 3. They had lost game 2, and Nba2k did not play game 3, and they were trailing. They were trailing that game, and they needed to behind and they were down. So that was game 4 when they were down. This is game 3 when Nba2k didn't play. So when Nba2k doesn't play, they lost game 2, and in the fourth quarter they were in trouble, and they win the game. They go 2-1 up. That showed me a little moxie from the Spurs. But generally speaking, and 3D players are the same thing. It's hard right now, and it will be one too. It's hard right now to be in a conference.
Here's James.
I think, and I'm assuming Williams would play OKC with the whole series experience. I know they want to represent the Spurs. I know, but you have to favor OKC in that series. But I think that's where they go. I think that's where they go.
More entertaining game. This is where you see a lot of great plays going back and forth. Hey, if you give him the room, he's going to score the ball. Thompson, take it away. Here's James. Out to James. Here's Hayes. Tries again. And it's good on the lay-in. Hayes has got 4 points now in the quarter. In a tight one like this, I trust his ability. Thompson on top. Back to Williams. Thompson right side. Down the foul on the shot clock. And it's off from three-point range. And it's the Lakers. And it's James with the jam. James has this athleticism to his game. He can get up there when he wants to.
I had that from Oakland, Texas. Of course, even when they lost 4-5, I still have.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth.
Here's what we have to monitor. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is just something special. What we said. We've got to find different ways to express how special this was.
Clock at 6.
But Jalen Williams is good. And before we play, I was still here's where my modification is.
Irving's got 15 points in just the second half. Hachimura outside. Ready off the pass, he lays it in. Zero rim protection. Unforgivable in a tight ball game like this. Well, I'm surprised. They don't come much easier than that. Irving always putting the ball right on the money. And the defense is looking almost on the perimeter. James to the basics, unleashing the one-hand hitch. Well, he makes the basics look pretty outstanding, though, huh? That's true. And so J.J. Redick calls for the timeout, rallying his guys to make sure they all know the plan.
Whether it was last year, I think it's the year before. All NBA, right? All defensive team. We forgot about that. It was only him and Eric Mobley that did that, that had that honor, because this brother defends. He dropped a 40-piece in the NBA Finals that averages over 20 a game. He's a legit 6'7", 6'8". And here's what he said when he was asked after they lost their first 3 matchups against the San Antonio Spurs. Why are y'all losing to them? What's so difficult? And he said, they've got something. And he looked at the reporter. Like, yo, we haven't seen anything like this. This is different. Wembanyama is different. We go to the rest. Mike Wilbon, I've been a fan of De'Aaron Fox since he was at Kentucky. It's the only argument you're not talking about. The only argument you know I prefer is a great player than Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson will tell you, he's the I listen. The only argument basketball-wise we ever got into, period, we ever got into in the 25 plus years we've been in this. is the Aaron Fox. Because I wanted him to take the Aaron Fox. Take him out. That's what I'm telling you, the Aaron Fox said, dude. You didn't think they could take the Aaron Fox. That's what you got to take right there. And he didn't do it. I watched the Aaron Fox in that first round finish Sacramento against Golden State. Steph Curry had to drop 50 in game 7.
He's got one more, though.
Remember how the Aaron Fox remember how special you look? I'm thinking about that dude. Now, by the way, we all love our boy Ron Hall, right? With Ron, who don't love Ron Hall? Could you imagine how proud he is right now looking for his son? Playing the way that his son is playing so long. But this brother got a bright future, y'all. Ron Harper's son. I mean, you talk about a proud papa. He should be very proud. This kid's a rookie. And I'm telling you right now, coming off the bench, this brother can ball. He's got it, okay? He's going to be special. Champagne out of St. John. No, it's not fair to give up to that brother. And now he's going to look at Stephon Castle, who I love. Basketball is no joke either. They have dudes who not only play, but San Antonio guard that defend. And so for me, you need Jalen Williams ready for San Antonio. You can get through the Lakers, and great as the Lakers will potentially be, you can get through the Lakers with your OKC. You cannot get through San Antonio without Jalen Williams. That is good because they got too many bodies to throw in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and the rest of those cats. It's going to be Jalen Williams. If not, the San Antonio Spurs are going to the NBA Finals. And if they go to the NBA Finals, win me on center stage in the NBA Finals, y'all go ahead and pick against them. But I wouldn't.
Driving to the basket.
Well, the Spurs had another round before they get to the finals. They were sub 500 against 3 teams in the league during the regular season. Good way for the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Okay, that's sense, but nonetheless, something to keep in mind.
They're not looking at Denver Nuggets.
I think so.
They're not looking at Denver Nuggets.
So the Mavericks take the win.
With 500 million items, Walmart's got the styling you need to